Hello everyone, we are back with another episode. Today we'll be talking about the recent decision that Prime Minister Modi recent recent call for action that Prime Minister Modi gave, where he made the points regarding how amid global tensions, how Indians should control their economic behavior so that we can pass through this turbulent times. I think his solutions are from an old policy framework and for future for avoiding the mistakes in the future and having and overcoming the circumstances better when they will ever come in the future again, we need to have a better framework, and we'll be having a discussion regarding how an alternative framework is available and it is never popularly talked about, and what are the inhibitions that people have like what are the assumptions on which the current solutions are provided, and what alternative can be proposed so that people may have a different understanding and get better results. So I'm joined here with Himanshu, and we'll discuss how libertarian policies and libertarian framework can help in navigating turbulent times as and when they come. So let's start. Let's start with the tweet today. As you can see it on the screen, uh, here as Prime Minister Modi on 10th May announced that that Indians should stop buying gold. We'll do. I'll read the pointer and then we'll give our takes on it one by one. The first one is stop buying gold. So the argument that is given is that the reasoning that is given is that buying gold leads to outflow of foreign exchange, and foreign exchange needs to be protected so that the country can pay off its debts and its obligations. And Indians buying gold is creating forex problems because gold payments need to be made in dollars, and that leads to outflow of dollars, and it reduces the forex reserves. So that is the argument that is made for stop buying gold. So what do you think about it?
Yeah. So the thing about forex reserves is, as of now, forex reserves are not that uh, problematic, in the sense that India has good bulk of forex reserve, and the problem is not just buying gold. The problem is even the external debt is low. By the way, if we compare the debt to GDP ratio of external debt, that's also kind of low. Problem is, since we are importing lot of goods like specifically petrol, petrol or fertilizers, even these things require our forex reserves to be healthy. And based on what I can guess is, it's more of a ploy to control the falling of rupee than actually maintaining the forex reserve. He doesn't want the rupee to fall or cross the century. So that's one thing regarding this whole gold thing. And by the way, saying folks to stop buying gold in India, I mean, gold is
Yeah,
like, yeah, I mean,
Indian women and gold are synonymous.
yes, yeah, definitely. So, like, doesn't make sense. Like, if you say stop buying gold, folks will go ahead and buy gold, and they will buy more gold. So it's funny. Uh,
Yeah, in a free market sense, this simply makes no sense. And like, okay, so we are talking about the forex reserve problem. Fine, let's agree for a second that it is a problem. But why do we specifically have to face this problem? And what are the major sources of our forex reserves? Our major of forex reserves, like inflow of forex reserve, largely comes from remittances and from the tertiary sector services that we provide to other countries. We have very little exports in terms of goods, largely exporting services. and they are the major sources of our forex reserves. And our outflow majorly goes to buying energy and so what is not being talked about is that why how heavily we are dependent on services for for getting in dollars and foreign reserves, and how little we manufacture so that we can produce goods that other countries would like to buy. In addition to that, why our supply chains have not been secured so that any disruption would not make a difference. It is not like the this is something new and happening for the first time. And if investments are being made and India wants to be a superpower, then it is necessary to ensure that how can you be a superpower if you have not your energy lines secure and your uh, energy infrastructure built in such a way that it can withstand huge, huge, uh, huge spans of disruption. So these things need to be thought about in by policy makers. The largely our system treats the our policy as only do something when push comes to shove and your back is against the wall. Like 1991 reforms happened only when it was like they couldn't like when the Soviet Union needed to collapse and our foreign reserves needed to die for India to reform its economy. And these piecemeal measures, like someone was sharing this photo of, let me share, like Indira Gandhi doing something similar.
What I got to know that it's a fake news. It's a fake.
Is
So
that
yeah, it's a fake fake one created by BJP basically. So, again, a cope by them.
okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, point is that this these single step thinking that buying gold would say that stop buying gold would say something. No, it is not going to happen. They are very minuscule contributors, and if you really want to uh, preserve foreign reserve, best is to start facilitating more and more exports so that more and more purchase takes place in dollars, and stop taxing remittances so much. Like how difficult it is to convert rupee into dollar for retailers. Like you have to go through all this scrutiny to get your rupee converted into dollars. It isn't like Indians can't afford dollars or things like that.
Yeah, the capital controls are very strict in India. So yes, so we have to do lots of deregulation in manufacturing sector as well as agriculture sector.
Yes,
We have lot of comparative advantage in agriculture, like we can export a lot of things, and we are
yes,
not utilizing it as good as other countries. Small country like New Zealand, which has followed the free market principle in agriculture, is booming in dairy sector and agri sector. So yeah, so India can do like 10x more than any of these countries, and we are just lagging behind. Also, we can get a lot of forex reserves uh, via tourism, and we are
yes,
kind of failing in that as well. Post COVID, there has been a downfall in the tourism sector as well, and it has more to do with the fact that we have not focused on urban reforms. Yeah, I mean it might look unrelated, but there is a reason. Like uh, because there is no urban reform, even the foreigners like their experiences are not as good as what they feel in other countries. Like small countries like Sri Lanka have such good urban system and environment that foreigners prefer to visit Sri Lanka than to go to Goa. So yes, so we have to focus on urban reforms as well, so that our tourism sector also starts booming again. and again liberalize, let's say, the sin part we say, right? So that we can have our Los Angeles in Goa or coastal any coastal city.
Yeah. And major thing that will lead to this reform is decentralization of power to municipalities.
Definitely. So what was the next pointer? The next pointer
So yeah,
was
the next pointer was bring back the work from home culture.
okay.
Well,
So
this is
yeah. So
this is another pie in the sky idea. There was a reason, like companies would have preferred to not pay all that heavy rent and bring employees to work rather than make them work from home. But there is a reason that with the work from home was not preferable to working in office, because when people interact, ideas get exchanged, accountability comes into play, and there are other dynamics that play out much better when people are at the same place and work together. There, so again, this is pie in the sky idea. So basically, you will hamper productivity for the short term, so that you can save some fuel, which will automatically reduce the output, and which will lead to reducing economic output and reducing purchasing power. So what are you are hurting yourself, like it is like breaking a bone so that you don't run.
yeah, and also one more thing. Post COVID, actually, companies were preferring work from home, and it is the
Yes.
state governments, including BJP government, which basically forced them to get back to office because they said they wanted to rejuvenate the real estate sector. And you know who has taken real estate sector? It's the politicians and the bureaucrats. So they force the companies back to come make your employees come back to office. And now, since we are back to problematic situation, they are forcing us to have work from home.
Yeah. Like, they also it was not about that there existed a law during COVID that it was illegal to work from home.
During
So
COVID
that's
or during
yeah.
COVID?
During COVID, the Labor Ministry, Sanjeev Sanyal talked about it. The Labor Ministry issued a circular that you can work from home. There was some requirement like you had to provide a telegraph and a phone if you wanted employees to work from home or something like that.
So it was for which kind of employees?
Let me check. You are seeing visible.
Yes.
Here it is written. These
Okay.
outdated
So
regulations designed in 1990s technically prohibited remote working in IT-enabled services until the government suspended them in March 2020.
so basically, work from home was illegal till
March
problems
2020.
started. Okay. So
IT-enabled services were heavily restricted by other service provider rules, which mandated specific premises, permissions, and security measures that made working from home illegal.
this is this is this is so weird. Like it looks like real estate sectors deliberately force these people that we want a system where folks come to office instead of working from home. Like how much of money they could have saved, like maybe not in the 90s, but post Wi-Fi and the laptops. I don't think coming to office was that much needed for specifically for IT sector. So it's this is bizarre basically what government does.
So this one is save petrol and diesel. So the reasoning that is given behind work from home culture is that you should save petrol and diesel. It assumes that you in general you waste petrol and diesel So I urge you to not waste it and save it. Save petrol and diesel. Ac- The, the actual the actual thing that will make a difference and actually make people save petrol and diesel is raising prices.
Yeah, I mean, let the market prices work. Do not subsidize.
Yes,
Do not try to put price caps. So,
yes,
but that they will not do because it's very politically charged situation for them. Because
yeah, and
raising,
talking about fuel prices. So they never talk about how much they really tax the fuel in India. Brent crude, there was dollar pre-tax price in India is approximately 57 rupees to 69 rupees per liter. The final retail price is often between 95 to 100. So this is almost 100% tax on fuel,
yes,
central excise duty and VAT. And all this, like oil PSUs are losing almost 30,000 crore rupees every month. But government revenue is not taking that much of a hit. The government, like the consumers pay anyway. The government gets its tax revenue. It is the PSUs that have to take the losses and suffer.
yes, because they're not operating under market conditions,
Yes,
right? So government is basically first it makes sure that to keep the prices low, and then it increases the taxes to
yes,
somehow maintain some sort of stability. And
yes,
now we are at this situation. I want to add one more point. There are 2 points he added for this save petrol and diesel. It was use more public transport and start using carpooling. Uh, Public transport, again, an issue of urban reform. We do not have decentralization to actually perform those functions. So even if we want to take public transit, it's not that good. Like metro, there are cities where metros are still half built, roads are dilapidated. You would rather prefer to go via your car instead of taking a bus, right? And then the carpooling. State governments, including the BJP in power, they have basically made sure that carpooling is kind of banned because of some pressure from some auto
and
unions.
yeah, and they have even banned carpooling apps as well.
Yes. Market was already providing solution even before problems began, right?
Yes,
Uh, this tells us about how government people say that private companies look for quick profits and quick bucks, but it is the government which is not ready for emergency situations. They think in short term, not the market. We already had solutions for carpooling even before this problem began, and they banned it.
yes. The next one is avoid foreign trips and destination weddings. So what does one say about it? Avoid foreign trips and destination weddings. They will significantly they are significant danger to the economy.
Yeah, I mean, again, the thing is there any count or is there any statistics how many foreign weddings or destination weddings actually take place? Uh,
Well, if the government is showing so much concern, maybe people don't know that how many weddings are going on and how much they are, like we are acting like a tiny island with a couple 100,000 people, and every single penny makes a difference.
yeah, so yeah, it looks like very penny pinching kind of setup.
Yeah,
Uh,
and people like all it is interesting that people, what reactions people are having to all of this. The first question, the first concern, first rebuttal that they have is that what are you doing? You are asking us this all this from us. What are you doing on your end to cut all these expenditures and spending?
yes.
Like you have large convoys like that that minister was raising that I don't even rely on AC. not even in cars. I just use I used onions.
Yeah.
So okay, fine. Start with the government. Get rid of all the ACs in the government offices. Make everyone have onions in their pocket. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
And if you're asking, okay, fine, let's have everyone go does carpooling. Everyone go
Mm.
cuts all their foreign trips, invest in a wedding. Like you cannot invite you don't want foreigners to come to India. If you wanted, you would have urban reforms and cleaned up the country, and you don't
Yes.
want Indians to go abroad as well. So
Yeah.
what
So
direction? What sort of visionary direction are we really moving in?
yes, and the problem is the leaders are saying under the visionary direction of Shri Narendra Modi ji, and then these are the plans they are giving. So
Yeah, and these are like do and like so talking in terms of politics, what can be possibly be the reasoning behind this? I wonder this whole thing. Are like that is why when people read this suggestion, like and anyone with common sense goes that do they really think that we are this dumb that these points would that these are really solutions to problem or like they want us to participate in some way like this is the COVID equivalent of like we banned those thalis. Is that equivalent of this or something like okay, let's have some public participation in this or something?
yeah, I mean,
One cannot decipher. And why suddenly like now the Iran war is mostly cooled down. Why suddenly such a concern that 60 days of reserves are left and things like that? Why post election these things are suddenly become a concern? Are you setting up the stage for something?
mm, I don't know if it is setting up a stage, but what I think is since elections are over, so he wanted to give the bad news as soon as possible. So if he would have said it while doing elections, then they would not have won in certain states. So it was more of a ploy. They knew that problems will come. Now the strait is kind of closed in a sense. Uh, Iran has basically kind of closed it, and you have to pay hefty sums to actually move your ships. I'm not sure like what the friendship is between India. What is the agreement between India and Iran, or do they allow free passage or not? But that's the usual reality that has become. So that is there, and I'm not clear why the sudden issue with foreign reserves, because our reserves are very healthy. Like what will suddenly happen? Why is there a flight risk? You already have put so much capital controls as well. uh, so where is your reserves getting lost? So it's not very clear. So I think this is the worry, like because the prices will become kind of high. Petrol
Yeah,
prices and
and
all is going to get high. So
yeah, and lastly, the last point that they made was uh, stop importing foreign products. Fine,
yeah,
we
again,
stop importing for like who want who wants to wait for foreign products to come in? We want products immediately. But have you enabled the domestic market to actually produce products? Like today, like this session was going on. I was having this discussion with my friend that how easy it has become to like you can literally just draw your idea and then it can be converted into a product and that you put it in AutoCAD and you can even 3D print the prototype. But we don't simply don't have the back end to do the actual manufacturing. You have to
yes,
contact suppliers in China to get it done.
yes,
And from there it takes a couple of at the fastest would be a couple of weeks until unless it is coming in a flight that the product reaches here. And
yes,
if you shop on Alibaba, they have products at a quarter of the prices, or they can even go as low as 1/10 of the price. Now the things that we buy here in India, and we simply have like I was talking to these chair manufacturers who manufacture chairs in India. chairs that they manufacture here with their Indian labor that is cheaper than the Chinese labor. Those are much more expensive as compared to importing from China, getting from the ports to the inland markets. That is way cheaper still as compared to making the chairs here with the simple raw material and the labor applied.
This
That is the
is
level of
crazy.
that is the level of industrial output that we are dealing with. And how little the government has really
Yeah.
to actually prop it up. This PLI scheme has failed. Fine, you have built smartphones and things like that, but all these basic things like we don't even make nail cutters properly in India.
Yep. Yep. We are not even utilizing our labor. Our comparative advantage is labor, and we are not utilizing it. And as AI gets much better and better, our comparative advantage in perspective to labor at least will reduce, and
Yes,
GDP to manufacturing ratio will also keep reducing instead of increasing. So we have a very short window and it's not getting utilized. Instead, you are trying to focus on some enriching your cronies with PLI schemes. So
you.
that is there.
Yeah, and like actually like this slipped through the cracks. Like they are doing so. Like the toys industry is doing decent, something like that. It has shown some spurt and growth.
Yes.
Like this government focus on one district, the one product, and things like that. Why should a district have this one product? Like it sounds good. So basically, it means that the government can handle only one district, one product. Why not let the markets do hundreds and thousands of products? Like there are in Walmart, if you go to the United States, there are 60 varieties of sauces of tomato sauces available in the Walmart store. We like let people have the choices, let people experiment, let people cater to different audiences, and let them build stuff here in India rather than harassing them with hafta vasuli and taxes and all
Yeah.
these licenses and all this trade union harassment. Like how do you expect people and entrepreneurs to work?
I have a I have a solution which many would then call us US ka dalal. But if you are so worried about your foreign reserves, why not take loan from IMF? But of course, they do not disperse loans so easily. You have to liberalize as such as well. So maybe liberalize as well in the process while maintaining your reserves.
Yeah, and like today they notified the new labor code, and in this they gave the provision of, yeah, here it is. Government fully implements new labor code. It's 8 hours per day, 48 hours per week. Overtime pay fixed at two times the rate. Basic pay fixed at 50% minimum. 50% minimum, 50% impacting PF and gratuity. Social
This
security
is
for gig
just
workers.
this is just basically copying from EU. You are just copy pasting stuff from EU. You do not even have that state capacity to run this. So what will basically happen is you will have informal economy where these things doesn't happen. But the only problem is they cannot scale with such rules.
Yeah, yeah, and there was this strange provision of you had over 300 employees. If your company had over 300 employees, you needed the government's permission to fire employees. Like, why the hell would I go to some ministry to decide that should how should I run my company?
Yeah. So
Who
yeah,
are
it's
you? You how who are you? You have never run a company. You are you're basically wasting taxpayer money. You have endless supply of cash, and you can take loans and take loans on loans. So how can politicians or bureaucrats who have never run a business decide about how businesses should be run and things like that? So this is a major problem of the socialist economy, and extending this to how India is uniquely how India uniquely gets best worst of both the worlds. Like in these authoritarian communist countries that are supposedly worker proletariat run countries,
Mm.
that since they are one single party governments, the government is really strict on the unions, and you cannot have unions that are not aligned with the party ideology. But here in India, you have the unions that share the ideology of those countries don't but are against the interests of overall growth of the system. And secondly, then you have uh, like in those countries,
Mm.
uh, the they are much more interested in just reach the outcome that you want. That you want high productivity, you want high output, do it at any cost. What happens here is that you have all these EU style regulations that are not really enforced, but much more like a stopping, like breaks or bargaining chips for
So
corruption and bribery.
yeah, so it's like a corruption and bribery funnel. And the problem is investor confidence is low in such scenarios because it's very unpredictable how enforcement will take place. What is the mood of a babu against a business, and the fact that the contract enforcement are very poor. Instead of having so many such laws, why don't you focus on proper contract enforcement to protect the
Yeah,
employees against the employers as well, or the employer against the employee? Have a proper contract enforcement mechanism, which sadly India doesn't have.
yeah.
So
Companies who want to do companies who would do companies in India do contracts in Singapore because there the legal system is faster.
yes,
If you really want to do something in national interest, do this. Do contract enforcement. Do simple
yes,
tasks of governance. Don't share these sort of tips that really make no difference and are just optics. Do
yeah.
the
These
hard
are
things.
so. This is what happens. Like uh, even the state knows that contract enforcement is bad. We do not have the state capacity. Private property
Yep.
rights cannot be enforced. So
Yep.
now the only option is the state themselves then have their cronies or their businessman whom they help with the state specifically focus on these guys. They give them huge land parcels, they give them all the facilities, free electricity subsidies and everything, so that they can operate and work in this country. And they have just accepted the reality that our judicial system will never change, so we have to go around in a different way and let the state help out some companies if they can via some capacity they have. So that's the whole failure of the system we had. Like we have not focused on proper contract enforcement so that any companies can operate. You can have multiple MSMEs operating instead of focusing on one or two businesses or oligopolies. So yes, definitely. So it's a huge failure of our institutions that we did not focus on proper institutes.
I think we have covered all the pointers for today. That's it for today. Thank you all for joining. We'll keep doing the daily takes on important issues of the day. Thank you all. Have a good time. Bye.